Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Look what NECA sent me. Isn't this thing preposterously amazing? This is their huge, massive, giant God of War. I think it's life-size. He's so big, he's basically a roommate. Hello, it's me. Hello. So we're not going to have this up the whole time, but I wanted you guys to see this. It comes with this diorama display, and it's heavy. This thing is a serious figure. It's to scale. Can I keep this here, Blake, or no? It's going to fall off. Here, I'll put this over here. Okay, there it is. Okay, right there. But Kratos is staying with us. Look at this incredible Kratos figure. It is so rad. It's so amazing. Thank you, NECA. We're going to talk a little bit more about God of War in a little bit. I'll slide him over just a bit. He's so big, we got to make like room for him. All the way? Okay, so it's way over there. Isn't that insane? This is so cool. I think it's 6 scale or something like that. Yeah, look at that thing. It's like the game come to life. Okay, you can't really see his face. I'm going to tilt him out a little bit like that. There it is. Okay. I think my favorite figure right now, which is amazing. And in fact, if you can't get one of the God of War collector's editions, which I think are probably pretty scarce, just get this and put it next to your PlayStation 4. Voila. So good. Okay, anyways, we've got lots to get into today. We've got a brand new rundown, and we're going to dedicate this one to our brand new sponsor, Mitch G. Thank you so much for your support. And, of course, we also want to give a shout-out to all of our friends in Toronto who went through something absolutely horrific yesterday. The whole country did. Frankly, the whole world did. It's just unbelievable, these just senseless, awful acts that are happening on a regular basis. But we are more positive than that, and we are stronger than that, and we will get past it, and we will support the families that need our love and our support. So this rundown and all of EPN's love is going out to Toronto and everybody affected by that tragedy yesterday. But let's get started with your rundown. It looks like we might be seeing more of the new version of Han Solo. Alden Ehrenreich, star of the new spin-off movie Solo, A Star Wars Story, has revealed to Esquire magazine that he's inked a 3-picture deal with Disney and Lucasfilms, which means he could appear as Han in at least 2 more movies, including full-fledged sequels to the new film or appearances in other spin-offs. Then again, having a 3-picture deal is no indication that an actor will actually appear in 3 movies. It could just be the studio's way of hedging their bets and keeping the doors open. The success or failure of Solo will likely determine what happens next, so we'll have to wait and see. That film hits theaters on May 25th, and it makes a lot of sense to me that they're going to try to keep him in the family just in case this thing becomes this blockbuster success. And honestly, I am really hoping it is awesome. I hope that it is just a joyous return to the Star Wars, fun that we had a glimpse of with The Last Jedi, but I feel like that was a much more serious and somber film. And there was a lot of heavy emotion attached with that movie. So this one, I think, could be just a lot more playful. And I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it's awesome. And I hope Alden Ehrenreich is perfect as a new Solo. It is still weird. I still feel like they should have made Solo after they finished this trilogy, because Harrison Ford is still very much in our consciousness, but as Han Solo. But we'll see. This might be amazing. All right, moving on to video games, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is fighting to conquer the world of esports. The hit Battle Royale game is getting its first major esports tournament this summer. It's called the PUBG Global Invitational, and we'll see the top 20 teams from all over the world compete in Berlin, Germany for $2 million in prizes. Although there have been several smaller Battlegrounds tournaments as part of other events, this will be the first big one devoted entirely to the game, putting it up there with other esports hits like League of Legends and StarCraft. The event takes place July 25th to 29th. It was only a matter of time, right, guys, before we saw some PUBG tournaments and stuff like that start to really take off. They've got to spend their money on building new ways to grow this business. I mean, that's really what this is about now. This is such a massive brand. It's made the developers so much money that now it's about sort of getting into the zeitgeist in more interesting ways, and hopefully more ways that benefit the game and the community and the company, so that they can keep investing and reinvesting in their stuff. I mean, Brendan Green, the guy that runs up the whole Blue Hole company, has said that they want to keep going with this game for decades. So it's stuff like this that allows for that, exactly that. So we'll see how this goes, but you know, all eyes are going to be on this tournament, and we'll see how successful it is. Now, speaking of you know, big shooters, after years of fighting, an armistice is finally being declared in Battlefield 1. EA and developer DICE have announced that they're ending development of new content for their 2016 shooter. DICE has been delivering a steady stream of expansions, mostly content drops, monthly content drops, and other in-game add-ons ever since the game was released. But writing on their official website, DICE says that they'll be ending new content drops this June. The good news is that several new maps will deploy before then. This comes as DICE and EA are planning to release an all-new Battlefield game this fall. It's rumored to be set during World War II, so we're going to have you know, back to World War II again as a big theme in these shooters, and we're still going to find out pretty soon what the next Call of Duty is all about. You know, hats off to DICE for trying something very different with Battlefield 1. It's made people very happy. It's been a tremendous success for the studio. It was a super fun game, but like I point out on the show quite regularly, I don't have time to kind of just stay with something and keep going back and playing the multiplayer forever. And it surprises me how we can have so many large communities for all of these different shooters, you know, but people pick their poison and they stay with it. And I think EA and DICE made people exceptionally happy with this last iteration, and we'll see how the next one does. But hats off there, and obviously they've learned a tremendous amount of stuff about in-game currencies and loot boxes and microtransactions with the Battlefront 2 debacle. So I think we're going to see some, you know, some interesting new takes from DICE at EA Play, which I just got the invite to today, which is coming up very soon, just before E3. Now, the Fast and Furious franchise is basically a cartoon, and now it's going to be an actual cartoon. Universal Pictures and Netflix are joining forces to create an animated series based on the films. The show will focus on the teenaged cousin of Vin Diesel's character, Dom Toretto. Is it okay if I laugh through all this? Who, like his cousin, will be recruited by the U.S. government to put his racing skills to good use. That means you can expect the same level of cartoonish vehicular mayhem. The show is being created by Universal's frequent collaborator, DreamWorks Animation, which has made other Netflix shows like Voltron, Legendary Defender. Hey, listen, the you know, animated effects work in the Fast and Furious movies, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty silly and crazy. It makes total sense that they want to you know, get a younger crowd kind of hyped up on this franchise. It turned out to be probably the biggest moneymaker that Universal has, so they're going to try to get people in any way that they can. It's kind of crazy that they can't get a sound-alike for Vin Diesel, so they're going for the cousin kind of story, but who knows? This might be a lot of fun. We'll see. We'll check it out. And as if the Fast movies haven't given you enough of The Rock, Sony is booting up another film franchise with him as the lead. The studio has officially announced a sequel to the recent adventure Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, slated to hit theaters during the Christmas 2019 season, 2 years after its predecessor. This movie is the biggest movie, the first one, that Sony has ever released. And The Rock can do no wrong. I think the Rampage was a #1 movie too when that came out, so Rampage has probably made tons of money for that studio as well. We all knew that this was coming, though, the sequel to Jumanji, because the first one made so much money. This will also put the movie against Star Wars Episode 9, following the recent box office battle that saw Welcome to the Jungle hold its own against The Last Jedi. Man, they are not shying away from the whole Star Wars brand with this. I guess if you're going to pick a movie star to bank on, there's probably, well, it's just The Rock. The Rock against Star Wars, and you kind of still bet on The Rock, which is incredible. Yeah, the first one was enjoyable. It wasn't mind-blowing. It's not particularly memorable, but I think it put a lot of smiles on people's faces, and the cast was great. Just the movie could have been cooler, but it was pretty good. You know, and my hat's off to Sony for having the big success. Or who did this one? Sony? Yeah, my hat's off to Sony for having a big success with that one. And speaking of Sony, they just dropped the trailer for the new Venom movie starring Tom Hardy, and that movie looks actually really damn good. I was talking with Thorazine on our chat when I was streaming some Swords of Ditto earlier. Sounds like I just made up a bunch of words right there, but we were talking about Venom, and yeah, it looked great, man. I was really surprised. The actual figure of Venom looks cool, and he says, "We are Venom," in a very cool way, kind of, you know, tipping its hat to the Batman who are you? Thought that was pretty rad, and I am now looking forward to it. It's going to be weird if they don't reference Spider-Man, though. I don't know how they kind of tiptoe around all of that. Maybe they will. Maybe Tom Hardy's going to surprise us with a cameo, and you know, everybody's going to be singing Kumbaya, and we're going to have the MCU sort of referenced in there as well, and Hugh Jackman's going to come singing and dancing as Wolverine. I don't know. I'm getting weird now.